Welkom in Europa, blijf hier dodelijk dood, ga Europa, Europa. Welkom in Europa, blijf hier dodelijk dood, ga Europa. Goedendag. Ik ben Eric van Medora Entertainment. Sorry, I meant this is Eric from Medora Entertainment. Why was I singing that song? Because the subject of this video is something that was not only broadcast in Europe, but was actually exclusive to Europe. Disney Cinemagic. Of course, as someone who spent his entire life on the opposite side of the Atlantic, I never watched Disney Cinemagic when it was around. I didn't even know it existed until I encountered it in the research for some of the videos I've made for this channel. And the instant the channel was mentioned in my videos, people started requesting it. So, I put it in the last community poll and it won second place. So, here we are. This will definitely be a learning experience for myself and my American and Canadian viewers, and everyone who isn't from Western Europe, as we explore Disney Cinemagic, Disney's own version of HBO. Here in North America, back when Disney had a lot of TV channels, they would all sometimes show Disney movies for special events and such. However, never was a channel specifically for Disney movies created here. But in Europe, or more specifically Western Europe, that's exactly what happened. And so Disney Cinemagic was launched on March 16, 2006, although it was at first limited to the UK and Ireland. Then, on September 4th, 2007, it was launched in France and Belgium as well. Then it came to Spain on July 1st, 2008, then Portugal on October 1st of that year, then Germany, Austria, and Luxembourg on the 4th of July! On July 4th, 2009, Sweden in February 2011, and finally Italy on December 3rd of that year. As far as I can tell, Disney Cinemagic never made its way into Eastern Europe. However, the airing situations for these channels weren't the same across the board. In the UK, Ireland, Spain, France, and Belgium, Disney Cinemagic took up the channel space that Toon Disney used to occupy. If you want to learn more about Toon Disney, check out my video on that. Link is in the video description. The channel and block were offered on premium packages from Sky TV in the UK, while in the rest of Europe you didn't need an additional package to see it. Disney Cinemagic largely aired Disney movies, but there was a period when it also aired TV series based on those movies, such as Lilo and Stitch the series and the Aladdin series. In addition, they aired some modern Disney cartoons, such as DuckTales and Goof Troop. Unfortunately though, Disney Cinemagic only lasted for a few years before it began being discontinued in its various markets. First, it was pulled from Portugal on November 1st, 2012, being replaced with Disney Junior. Then, it was discontinued in the UK and Ireland on March 28, 2013, being replaced by Sky Movies Disney, which is now part of Sky Cinema. In Sweden, it was discontinued in 2014. On New Year's Day 2015, it was shut down in Spain, and then replaced with Disney Cinema in France and Belgium on May 8th of that year. Disney Cinema was basically the same thing as Disney Cinemagic, but exclusive to the Canal Plus on-demand service. Disney Cinema was later discontinued, along with most other French Disney TV channels, in 2020. After 2015, the only remaining holdouts for Disney Cinemagic were Italy, Germany, Austria, and Luxembourg. But, unfortunately, even they were not to last, as the Italian version was pulled from the airwaves on June 30th, 2019, and the German-language Disney Cinemagic feeds managed to hold out for 3 more months before they too were killed off on December 30th of that year. And thus ended the story of Disney Cinemagic. The advent of Disney Plus has often been blamed for the death of Disney Cinemagic, and perhaps that may have been true for the Italian, German, Austrian, and Luxembourgish versions. However, as we have seen, the downfall of Disney Cinemagic began years before Disney Plus was even announced, as far back as 2012 in the case of the Portuguese version. So, what really happened? Why was Disney Cinemagic killed off so soon after it started? It seems to have largely been due to cable and on-demand services in Europe finding other ways to air Disney content, as they were all replaced by something in a similar vein except for in Portugal, where it was part of a deal between Walt Disney and Zon Multimedia, which was one of the biggest TV providers in Portugal at that time. Even in Spain, though Disney Cinemagic was initially just pulled without a replacement, it did eventually see a replacement in Movistar Disney, which is a channel offered by Movistar Plus, an on-demand service. So Disney Plus may have been responsible for killing off a lot of Disney television channels, but this was at least one where it wasn't entirely its fault. Even so, I'm sure Disney Cinemagic was a huge part of the childhoods of many of my European viewers, and I believe it could have lasted until at least 2019 in all countries it was present in, not just the aforementioned 4. Let me know in the comments, did you see Disney Cinemagic before it disappeared? If so, what country? What do you think they could have done to make it last longer? Anyway, thanks for watching. And as always, stay tuned.
Sabrosa.